Welcome back, friends. Welcome to another video from Penglam Kwok. This is the 9 lecture series of plant anatomy. In this video, I'll talk about complex permanent tissue and the different types of complex permanent tissue in details. So this is an outline classifications of complex permanent tissue. Basically, this complex permanent tissue can be further divided into two main types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. Here, if you see simple permanent tissue, I have already discussed in details in lecture series 8. You can go back to the lecture series 8 and watch about simple permanent tissue. But in this lecture, I'll talk about complex permanent tissue. This complex permanent tissue is divided into two main types, which include xylem and phloem. Xylem, they are made up of tracheary elements, tracheids, trachea or vessels, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fiber. Basically, this phloem, it is also made up of sieve elements, sieve cells, sieve tube, component cells, phloem parenchyma, and phloem fibers. So complex permanent tissue means why it is called complex, because it is made up of different types of cells. There are more than one types of cells, many types of cells, or several types of cells. Even though they are made up of more than one types of cells, they'll work together, those different types of cells, so that they'll coordinate and they will perform a common function or specific function, or to perform a single unit. And mostly this complex permanent tissue, the main function is to transport water, minerals or salts, and the food which is prepared from the leaf, and it will be transported to different parts of the stem or different parts of the roots. Mostly this complex permanent tissue, they transport as substances to various part of the body, and it is of two types, that is xylem and phloem. This xylem and phloem and cambium together, they will form a vascular tissue, mostly for transporting substances. Here this is a picture of xylem and this is a picture of phloem. If you see here, xylem, it is made up of number 1 parenchyma cells, vessel cells, tracheids, and xylem fiber. So all these four, they will combine together and they will work together to perform the function of xylem. That means to transport waters and mineral from the root to different parts of the stem. Here phloem also, it is made of different elements: phloem parenchyma, companion cells, phloem fibers, sieve tube. So here also they work together. Even though they consist of different types of cell, they will work together to perform the transport of glucose and different types of substances from the leaf to different parts of the stem. Let's see or let's talk about this xylem. This xylem, mostly the main function is conducting water or water conducting tissue in vascular plant. When we talk about vascular plants, those plants which have xylem and phloem, they are called vascular plants or higher plants. And this xylem, it was introduced by Nageli in the year 1958, and it is derived from the Greek word xylos, that means wood. Mostly this xylem, it is the woody portion of a trees. So this xylem, they are dead cell. Basically, as I already mentioned, conduction of water minerals from the root to the stem to different parts of the leaf, and it is made up of four elements: tracheids, vessels or trachea, xylem parenchyma, and xylem fiber or wood fiber. So let's talk in details what are the composition of these xylem fiber, tracheids, vessels, and xylem parenchyma. Apart from those different types of xylem elements, first let's discuss about what is primary xylem, what is secondary xylem, and proto-xylem and meta-xylem. This primary xylem, it is one from procambium. Procambium is a meristematic tissue, not yet mature cambium. So those xylem which is formed from the procambium, that is the first form xylem, is called primary xylem, and secondary xylem means it will be formed from the vascular cambium. This cambium will be mature after some time and they will form a vascular cambium. So those xylem which is formed from the vascular cambium is called a secondary xylem. Proto-XYLEM means it's more or less synonymous. So it is the first from primary xylem, which is derived from the procambium. And if you see the picture here, small bundle, they were the first from xylem. They'll have small lumen, then lumen means it is a whole. So that type of xylem it is also known as proto-xylem. And meta-xylem is the later form primary xylem. So our primary xylem will be formed after this proto-xylem it is formed, which is derived from the vascular cambium. It is called meta-xylem. It will be much bigger than the proto-xylem. So here they will be having large lumen. Lumen means it is a hole or a tube. It is called meta-xylem. The first elements of xylem, there is the tracheids. These tracheids, they are dead cells. They don't have protoplasm. These represent the tracheids, and they will be longer and it will be thin compared to the vessels, thinner, and they will be having end tapering. The end will be small, tapering just like the needles, and they will remain parallel. This one, suppose this is A and this is B tracheids. They will not meet each other. Instead, they remain parallel to the long axis where they occur, and they are tube-like structure. Because of them, it's called tubular structure. A and B, they arrange one above the another, and the main function is they conduct waters, minerals vertically, and it is present only in gymnosperm and pteridophytic plants. Another function include mechanical supports. And the cell wall, the wall is deposition of lignin. Because of the one is called lignify. Lignin will be deposited on the wall of these tracheids. The second elements of xylem, also known as vessels or trachea, and they are tubular and they will be dead cells. The wall will be deposition of lignin will be present, and they will be having a hole here. It is called perforation. They will be absent in gymnosperm and pteridophyte, but it will be present in angiospermic plants. There is some exceptional case that in gymnosperm of this natum they have vessels. This is one exceptional case. And due to dissolution means absence of cell wall here. Due to dissolution of cell wall, a single pore. Pore means it is a hole is formed at the perforation plate, and that type of hole, one hole, it is called simple perforation plate. Example in Mangifera, in mango plants. And another term that is multiple perforation plate. Multiple perforation plate means when there is hole, more than one hole or pits or perforations are present. It is called multiple perforation plate and means many pore. Example, we see the types of multiple perforation in the plants, Liriodendron. And another important function is conduction of water, minerals, and also offer mechanical strength so that the plant will stay upright. The difference, these tracheids, it is longer and thinner, tapering end, it is more wider, cylindrical structure, join at perforation plate. So here they join at perforation plate, but here they never join. Instead, they will remain parallel. Mostly occur in non-flowering plants like the gymnosperm and the natum, and occurs in angiospermic plant, that is flowering plants. The third elements of xylem, that is xylem parenchyma or wood parenchyma. This xylem parenchyma or wood parenchyma, they are thin wall. When you talk about parenchyma, they will be alive, that is living cells, and mostly made up of cellulose will be deposited within the wall. So these are xylem parenchyma. So those xylem which is associated with the parenchyma cells, they are called xylem parenchyma, and they are the only alive, that is only the living cells which are present in xylem. These vessel, tracheids or xylem fiber, they are all dead cells. Since they are alive, they will store food which is prepared from the leaf to different parts of the plants or stem, and they will conduct water sideways. Two major types of parenchyma cells in the secondary xylem based on arrangement: axial parenchyma cells and radial parenchyma cells. This axial parenchyma cell arrange around the axis, just like the parallel they will be arranging. The radial parenchyma cell arrange like a ray. They will be splitting from the center to different parts. So radiating out of the common center. The type of arrangement it is called radial parenchyma. Axial will be parallel around the axis. The four elements of xylem, that is xylem fiber or wood fiber. Sclerenchyma is of two types, that is sclerites and fiber. So among the sclerenchyma, those sclerenchyma fiber associated with xylem, together with xylem, it is called xylem fiber or wood fiber. Since sclerenchyma they are dead cells, automatically this xylem fiber also they will be dead cells. And within the wall they have lignin will be deposited with small narrow lumen. That means they have a small hole. Even though they have hole, the hole will be very small. And the function is that they will provide mechanical support. Since they were dead cell, they will not allow the passage of water. It is conduct water, but they are very strong and they will provide mechanical support so that the plant will stay upright. And keep in mind that this xylem fiber mostly they are very strong, and this xylem it is the woody parts or portion of the plants. Based on different types of fiber arrangement, there are two types, that is a Libriform fiber and Fibre-tracheids. This Libriform fiber it is long and it will be a bit more taller than Fibre-tracheids, and they have thick wall with simple pits. The seal will be very thick, and within that one pit means it is a hole will be present. Fibre-tracheids, actually this Fibre-tracheids it is an intermediate or transitional form which is present or between not actually fiber, not actually tracheids. So it is a transitional form which are neither type fiber or tracheids. They are called Fibre-tracheids. The second part of complex permanent tissue is the phloem. This phloem it is the food conducting complex tissue of the vascular plant. They mean they are present in vascular plant. Those plants have xylem and phloem, they are called vascular plants. And they help in transport of food which is prepared by the leaf from different parts of the plants till to the roots. With the help of phloem tube, this food were transported. And mostly all the cells are living or alive cells except this phloem fiber, because fibers it is a sclerenchyma, and these sclerenchyma cells they are dead cells. Another term that is primary phloem, that is phloem which is derived from procambium. That is procambium, it is a meristematic tissue, and the first form cambium it is called procambium. So those phloem which is derived from procambium it is called primary phloem. Secondary phloem, this procambium will after some time will become mature and they will form a vascular cambium. So when this phloem which is derived from this vascular cambium it is called secondary phloem. Another term that is proto-phloem and meta-phloem. This proto-phloem they are early form primary phloem, and the lifespan is very short. After some time they will get crushed, it will be destroyed, and after that one they will form a meta-phloem. Meta-phloem means later form primary phloem. After the primary phloem, that phloem form when the primary phloem get crushed, it is called meta-phloem. So these are the elements which made up the phloem. Number one, phloem parenchyma. This is a phloem parenchyma. Number two, companion cells. Number three, sieve elements. Sieve elements of two types: this sieve tube and sieve cell. This sieve tube is for angiospermic plant and sieve cell is for gymnospermic plant. And next it will be phloem fibers. So this sieve tube, keep in mind this is an angiospermic plant. Angiospermic plant will have sieve tube, but in place of this sieve tube in the gymnosperm, it will be replaced by sieve cells, or it will be called sieve cells. Let's discuss in detail the elements of phloem. Number one is phloem parenchyma. This portion is a phloem parenchyma. Those parenchyma cells associated with the phloem they were called phloem parenchyma, and this parenchyma, since it is alive, this phloem parenchyma, so it will be alive, and they have elongated just like the cylindrica. This is the elongated, and they'll support a sieve tube. This white in person, it is the sieve tube. They help in supporting, and keep in mind they will be absent in monocot. Basically, and they are present in dicot, gymnosperm, and pteridophytes. Monocot example like the maize and the grass family. Since it is alive, they will store fats, starch, resin, tannin, etc. within this phloem parenchyma. And the second one, companion cells. Companion cells also are living cells. They have dense cytoplasm. This portion is very dense, then thick cytoplasm, and they will be associated with sieve tube. They will be associated with sieve tube. These companion cells, they were specialized. After some time, parenchyma cells will be specialized and they'll form a companion cell, and they have thin wall. This light green color is the wall. They have thin cell wall, and they will control, that means regulate the activity of sieve tube with the help of pit. Pits will be present, and they will be controlling the activities of this sieve tube. Keep in your mind that they are absent in gymnosperm and pteridophytic plants, but they are present in angiospermic plant. So these component cells, they help in conduction of food material. The food material, that is glucose, it will be transported through the pit, and this sieve tube, they will be transporting the glucose, which is from the companion cells through the pits. Sieve element. These sieve elements, they are very important. It helps conduction elements of phloem, and they are the main activities which help in transfer of this glucose, and they are tubular. This white in color, they are the sieve elements with perforated wall, and they have a large vacuole. Large vacuole will be present, and they don't have nucleus, and the cytoplasm will be in the sides, that is peripheral cytoplasm. Perforation means the wall, the cell wall will be hole. Here it have a hole. There are two types of sieve element. Number one, sieve tube. This sieve tube, they are shorter and wider with greater area for nutrient transport. They will be shorter and a bit more wider, and they will have the sieve plate. Here they have the sieve plate. This portion is the sieve tube. This sieve tube, they are cells, or it will be called sieve cells. Syncystes. Syncystes mean aggregation of cells placed vertically one above the another, forming a long tube, and they are present only in the angiospermic plant. Sieve tube are present only in angiospermic plant. This is the picture which represents the sieve tube. Sieve tube, they will be having a sieve plate, the one which will filter the glucose or any nutrients is transported from upward to downwards. Another term, that is sieve cells. These sieve cells, it will be longer and it will be smaller. It is narrow with smaller area for nutrient transport, and they will lack sieve plates. Sieve plate will be absent, and they will be less specialized, and they will lack companion cells. These companion cells will be absent in the sieve cell. The main function of this companion cell is that they will control the activities of this sieve tube. Because this sieve tube, they don't have nucleus, and since these companion cells have nucleus, they will control the activities of this sieve tube. They mean the control centers of the sieve tube, and they are present only in gymnosperm and pteridophytic plants. Another important term, albuminous cells. In the previous slide, I already mentioned that sieve cell, they lack companion cells. So let's assume this is a sieve cells, but sometimes these sieve cells, they have another parenchymatous cells. When they are associated together, that cells will be called albuminous cells. I mean parenchymatous cell associated together with the sieve cells are called albuminous cells. This will be called albuminous cells. This will be sieve cells, and this one will be the parenchymatous cells. And these albuminous cells, they are having a prominent nucleus. Nucleus will be present, and they have dense cytoplasm. Albuminous cells, they help in transport and conduction of protein, but in the companion cells or sieve tube, they help in transport of glucose. Let's differentiate between albuminous cells and companion cells. These albuminous cells, they are present in the phloem of coniferous higher plants and ginkgo biloba plants. But companion cells, it is present only in angiospermic plant. Ontogenetically means it is the origination and developments of an organism. Based on origination and developments of an organism, it is not related to the sieve cell. They are totally different when they originate or derive. But here the mode of origin, that is ontogenetically, it is related to the sieve tube, that's companion cells. So there is a close morphological and psychological relationship between the sieve cells. So since they help in conduction of proteins, all these parenchyma cells, they help in they will control the activity of sieve cells. That means they are morphologically and physiologically relationship with the sieve cells. And companion cell, there is a close morphological and physiological relations exist with the sieve tube. This albuminous cell, it is so strongly attached with the sieve cells, and this companion cells, it is attached strongly with the sieve tube and cannot be separated after maceration. Maceration means if you dip some substances within the water, they will become bulging, so you will not be able to separate after maceration. Phloem fiber, the last part. This phloem fiber, they are the only dead cells which are present among the phloem. That is the extraxillary fiber, or also known as base fiber or basswood fiber or basswood. And they are sclerenchyma. Sclerenchyma is the dead cells. Within the sclerenchyma cells, sclerenchyma is of two types, that is fiber and sclerites. Those fiber together with the phloem, it is called phloem fiber, and they have thick cell wall, extremely thick cell wall. So this brown in color, it is the phloem fiber. It's very thick and the cell wall is very thick, and they give mechanical support, and they will not conduct any waters or nutrients since they are dead cells. So let's differentiate between xylem and phloem in a nutshell. This complex permanent tissue, they are of two types. As you already know that complex permanent tissue, the cells are more than one types of cell. Number one, xylem. The activity xylem is that water conducting tissue. This xylem is made up of four types: tracheids, vessels, xylem fiber, and xylem parenchyma. Tracheids mean they are dead cells elongated with tapering end. Vessels mean made up of row of dead cells, and xylem fiber, they are lignify and sclerenchymatous, that is dead cell. And after that one, xylem parenchyma, they are living cell with cellulose. The second type of complex permanent tissue, this complex permanent tissue, that is phloem, is also made up of four types of cell. Number one, Sieve element. Number two, companion cells. Number three, phloem parenchyma. Number four, phloem fiber. Sieve elements, it is a sieve cells and sieve tube. They mean two types of cells are there: sieve cells and sieve tube. And companion cells are only present in angiosperm. Phloem parenchyma, they are living but absent in monocot plant, like the maize and grass family. Phloem fiber, they have a thick wall and they are sclerenchymatous, and they give mechanical support or strength to the plant. So that is the activities of phloem fiber. Xylem and phloem in a nutshell. This xylem, let's describe xylem and phloem in a nutshell. This xylem, they are unidirectional transport from the roots to different parts of the stem till the leaf. But this phloem, they can transport downside and even upside because of the it is bidirectional. And mostly the xylem, they transport water, minerals from roots to different parts, that is other parts of the plants. And transport this phloem, they transport food and nutrients from leaf to different parts of the plant. When they attain maturity, these xylem, they are dead cells. Because of their cell, it is the woody portion. Xylem is the woody portion of the timber of the plants. And this phloem, mostly they are alive cells except phloem fiber, and they occur at the center of vascular bundle. Suppose this is a vascular bundle, we have a cambium and xylem and phloem. So they occur at the center of the vascular bundle and occur on the outer side of the vascular. This is the outer side. Phloem will be outside the cambium because of that one. It is called outer side of the vascular bundle. So we complete complex permanent tissue and simple permanent tissue. Let's differentiate between simple tissue and complex tissue in a nutshell. Simple tissue, they are made up of only one type of cells. This complex, they are made of different type of cells. Even xylem and phloem, xylem also have 4 elements, and phloem is also having 4 elements. Because of that one, they are different types of cells. Occur in all the parts of the plant, occur in the vascular region, because xylem and phloem, they are called a vascular region, and perform variety different types of function, mainly conduction, that means transport of water, minerals, or glucose. Types of simple permanent tissue: parenchyma, collenchyma, and sclerenchyma. Types of complex permanent tissue include xylem and phloem. I hope that's helpful.